Hello everybody, how's it going and welcome to a new video. Driving on the motorway can seem intimidating when you first learn to drive, and especially when you pass your test and are let loose on the roads without any real advice about how to drive on the motorways of Britain. Really, driving on the motorway is almost easier than normal driving, but in this video I'll be giving you a few tips to make your experience less stressful. Before driving on the motorway, make sure your car is up to it. Check that your tyres are in good condition, your engine is filled up with oil, and you have enough petrol. I know it can seem very basic, but this could save you from having to spend a long time on the hard shoulder. When joining a motorway, don't be afraid to accelerate to get your speed up. The slip road is meant for you to accelerate, and you should match the speed of the traffic so you can join a gap. If you are too fast or too slow, you may force people to brake, and it can get dangerous, so don't be afraid to get your foot down and use the revs a bit, get up to speed and get in the gap. So the very basics of the motorway work like this. Motorways stereotypically consist of 3 lanes, sometimes more. The left lane is the main lane and the one you should drive in if you do not need to overtake. The other lanes are exactly for that reason, overtaking, and should only really be used for that. So when you need to get past a vehicle in the left lane, use the middle lane. If there is something in the middle lane, use the far right lanes. There may be more than 3, remember. Once you have overtaken and there is space to do so, move back to the left and carry on your way. Remember that lane hogging, or sitting in the middle or right lanes whilst you don't need to do so, is now an offence and the police are allowed to pull you over for it, so don't. When you are driving, remember to look far ahead into the distance and keep an eye out to see if any traffic has stopped. If you see people are coming to a stop, get on the brakes early and be gentle and progressive. You don't want to be slamming on the brakes if you don't have to, as you might end up with people in your bumper. If you do have to stop hard, get on the hazards if you can. You might save a few bumpers this way and just alert people around you. Remember that when you go to change lanes in busy traffic, it is sometimes wise to check your mirrors and quickly over your shoulder as well. You have a blind spot either side of your car in the mirrors and you could miss a motorbike or car sitting right next to you. You don't have to stare over your shoulder for seconds. It can be a very quick check. Just make sure that nothing's sitting next to you, and that can save you quite a bit of money in wing mirrors and insurance premiums. When people are joining the motorway near you, try to either adjust your speed to give them room or move into the middle lane if you have the space. Don't jump to change lanes, however. If it's busy, you could end up being dangerous. So take your time, and if you can give people space to join, then it's great. You don't have to, however, as they have to give way to you whilst joining, but it just makes it easier for everyone, and it's something that I'd like to think people would do for me if I was trying to join at a busy time of day. Also remember here to shoulder check if it's busy and you do want to change lanes, as you don't want to be knocking anyone off their bike, smacking into anyone that's sitting next to you trying to overtake you whilst people are joining the motorway. When you're driving on the motorway, try to give people a bit of space. Don't sit up anyone's bumper, as you'll make no friends and only put yourself and everyone else at danger. It'll make your driving experience much less stressful too. It's not just safer, but it's going to reduce your blood pressure as well, as you won't have to have split-second reactions if someone brakes hard. You will have more time and less chance of stressing yourself out. New bumpers are expensive, your insurance premium's going to be expensive, it's not worth it, and it's not worth the time. I hear a lot about this whole 2-second rule thing. You can keep rough to that. No one's driving their car going, only something breaks to 2 seconds. No one's doing that. Just keep a good distance. You know what's close. If you can see the hairs on the back of their head, just back off. Just give them more space. You don't need to be that close. Remember that overtaking on the left is illegal unless you are in slow traffic and the other lanes are moving slower than you, or you are in a lane that lets you purposefully leave the motorway. If you want to get past someone, don't get frustrated. Even if it's busy, just wait for a gap and get into either the middle or the far right lanes. Give it some time and just be patient. When overtaking, make sure you're not slowing anyone down behind you. If someone is driving with you at speed from the overtaking lanes, make sure to let them pass before indicating out an overtaking. If you force people to brake or even worse, swerve, it could get seriously dangerous and you're going to make no friends there. So take your time, let people pass and wait for gaps to appear. More and more these days, you need to keep an eye out for overhead gantries with speed limits on them too. More and more motorways have variable speed limits on them now, so you'll have to keep an eye out as the speed limit can change to adjust for traffic, accidents and conditions. The signs are very clear and mostly well lit above the motorways, but you'll have to stay alert for them as they can get the jump on you sometimes, and you could end up with unexpected speed tickets. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Remember, when it comes to motorway driving, you are travelling at higher speeds, so your awareness has to increase with it. If you know what's around you and how to deal with it, you won't have a single problem. Drive safe, and I'll see you in the next video.
You don't wanna see me come up, you don't wanna see me show out.